All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which means it is time for Twilight Malediction, our rhyme of the Frostmaiden campaign. Episode 22 tonight, so a full order of network television we have done in number of episodes, so good for us. We are missing somebody in the process of recovering from his second vaccine shot. We wish Lewis the best. And, we're going to try to make sure that Baldr doesn't die. Maybe. We'll see. In the meantime, let us meet our awesome people. One of them potentially suffering from vaccine-itis tomorrow, who's with us today. And two people just here to hang out. Hopefully everybody's okay. How you doing, buddy? Blowing the mic? A little dusty? All right. All right, let's start with our newest 5G compliant brother. Yeah, man, how's the reception? And tell us about Jaatuuli.
The reception is great. I'm so glad I went through with it. My calls have been not dropping at all. I'm Tenta. I play Jaatuuli, and I'm just looking forward to the continuation of Jaatuuli and his compatriots and seeing what sort of situations he can barbarian through.
When in doubt, grab the weapon, bite the enemy, and see what comes after that. For the most part, smashing with said axe or stealing theirs.
Yeah, smash them with the weapon I take from them, and then bite them. Yes, that is an effective stratagem.
It's a complex rule book for the barbarian. All right, let us move on to a barbarian at spirit, maybe not in stature and size. Landon, tell us about Orryn.
Well, Orryn doesn't have the strength of Jaatuuli or the intimidating presence as Jaatuuli. He does have some very thick armor that lets him, someone hits him and it's like, he weighs so little, it's just like kicking a rock. Orryn doesn't get hurt. He's Orryn. He's a rock gnome artificer. He loves cladding himself up in protection and throwing the enemies off balance with his thunder gauntlets. It's his favorite invention so far, and I'm sure he will continue to use it as the days go by, especially if we run into anyone today. I think that's it for him today, though. He's just excited to go.
No mention of the wand?
Oh, well, so he's got the wand. I haven't rolled a 1 yet.
Okay.
At the start of each show, I roll a 1, and I have not rolled a... All right, sorry, I try to roll, and if I roll a 1, I'm going to try to attune to it.
All right, well, there it is. It looks very inviting and not at all like a bad move to attune to it. Just see what it wants. You never know. It might.
Yeah, he's definitely curious. He definitely wants to, but the cards just hasn't fallen that way yet.
Sure. I do keep this in the overlay for I think probably like 10 to 12 episodes. I've held on to this one graphic just in case the day comes. So I'll take it away.
Oh, yeah. Province stats. It'll happen eventually.
Fantastic. Maybe it'll be the best or worst time. We'll see. All right. Let us finish up with our international correspondent and receiver of mail to finish our last episode. Dustin, tell us about Kelroth.
My name is Dustin, and I play Kelroth. I am a half-elf cleric of the life domain. That makes me the healer. And yeah, we fought a big battle. No letters, didn't get anything, just total casual. Nothing bad's gonna happen. And yeah, just regular life,
Everything great. Just living the cleric life in Iceland.
Yeah.
All right. Fabulous. Like I said, Lewis, who plays Baldr, is out with the after effects of his second vaccine. We wish him well, and we are glad that he is going to be safe going forward. I'm Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social media. I'm your host and dungeon master this evening. I'll be playing everybody except for those 3 awesome characters. So last week the party, quick kind of big happenings of a session. They fought a drow pet, this big, ugly, skittering thing. Two drow walked into the forge, the ground level, or the bottom level of Sunblight, the former dwarven fortress, and saw what could only probably be described as the tail end of some ritual where a white dragon had their heart taken out and thrown into the molten crystal that the drow have been harvesting, mining from all over Icewind Dale for some nefarious purpose. Chased him down, seemed relatively unconcerned, sly smirk, shit-eating grin the entire time. Revived his dead sons into Driders, and upon his death at the hands of our intrepid adventurers, a spirit came from the body, that of a white dragon, and made its way out through the halls of Sunblight. The party kind of went through the vault in which the final battle took place. So the Dwarven Fortress, they hold on to expensive stuff. Split up some nice stuff, yeah. A lot of valuables, gold wise, right? Nothing. And the elven cloak. Yeah, and so we will pick it up with the party having just defeated the druid, having gone through the contents of the vault, and at the very end, Kelroth received a sending message from most likely Bespit.
No.
I
don't remember
at which
that.
point he has decided to apparently keep it to himself, as is his right and his decision and character that we fully support. Because
Personal space.
Yeah, dude, respecting boundaries, man. This is all right. So we will pick it up with Kelroth, I guess, discreetly stuffing the envelope into his coat.
No, discreet. No, discreet.
Okay.
I mean, like, I everyone saw it, I guess, right? It was an event that was described. I just read it and then I put it in my pocket. Not important.
Okay.
Orryn is a little annoying. He's like, hey, Kelroth, what advance I have to say?
Just more rumors and stuff. He wants more information. Not important right now. I just realized we're all a little banged up, and we didn't fully search this place. There might still actually be enemies around.
That's true. Sounds like a boring letter, though.
Yeah.
I expected more.
Boring, casual, boring. Yeah.
Written word is always boring.
Well,
That's
I mean,
true. You need to go to Silvering Moon. We have a huge library of all sorts of information. I learned so much while I was there. Of course, nothing's better than experience, but there's plenty to be learned about the old books in the college.
You cannot.
Do I hear anything? Is there any nefariousness going on, or sounds coming from where the spirit thing flew away, or anything else?
From where you are, you don't. You guys are still in the vault.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything. There's still, it's a big space, so things would kind of echo. You've got all the bubbling and everything going on with the ritual in the big forge room. But aside from that kind of background ambient sound, nothing. No, like, footsteps, clinking, any of that.
Okay. And one last question: How's everyone's health? And does anyone know how Baldr's doing?
I can check. I can look on Baldr real quick.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I can check on him.
I feel like some of us took some damage. Or I think Jaatuuli got blasted in the face with lightning a couple times.
Twice.
I have 33 out of 83 remaining.
Okay.
Because you healed me.
Yes, yeah.
Orryn is 28 out of 63 with 6 temp HP. I still have that spell to do rope trick, or I have alarm prepared that I can cast as a ritual to try to secure an area for a short rest if we want.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it took several days to get out here, so it's gonna take several days to get back. So if there's nothing else here, this is probably a safe place to take a rest. And I know that all of us are decently banged up. It sounds like nobody's like gonna die now, but we're all injured.
We can.
Does Jaatuuli still look a little toasted from being lightninged twice?
The scales are probably a little drier than usual, almost like they're about to molt off. Do lizard folk like shed their skin? Yeah, like
Yeah.
the whole thing. Yeah,
I would assume so, right?
yeah, right. That's what I was like.
Any other lizard?
Sure, yeah.
Do
Seems
alligators?
reasonable.
Grow.
Do alligators shed their skin?
Yeah. I think I believe they do. They just don't do it on the same scale as like snakes or something like
Okay.
that.
Maybe
They don't
rub it
shed
off.
their shell like
Because
their
I was like,
whole skin. They just
I lived in Florida and I never once saw like a husk of an alligator.
Yeah,
like,
I was
next
gonna-
to my
I was
apartment
also-
complex pond.
I mean, in a technical level, we also shed
Sure,
too.
but-
It's just
okay.
An
different.
alligator probably would eat it.
Yes,
If they,
I don't. Yeah, exactly. An alligator would just.
I just want to know if at some point in this adventure there's just going to be like this shell of Jaatuuli just off in the side. That you're gonna be like, yeah, we're just going to leave that.
It'd be
let me
kind of
get-
cool.
let me get
That
some
would be
dry air.
cool.
come back like 2 inches taller. I'm
Like
President.
every 6 months, lizardmen. One of their disadvantages is they need to like. They need to rest for 12 hours while they shed their skin.
And so the skin, like the new one, toughens up a little bit. Like, look, you guys, I'm a little squishy today. Like literally.
Yeah. So for like the first month, your AC's down one, but by the end, your AC's like +2. So it's like.
And you've grown.
Okay.
All right.
I have a couple of spell slots left.
Okay.
By that I mean 2.
see
Should
where
I
you go.
do anything?
And
Or
rest.
should we? Oh. What? No. Do we think we can get any more information out of Dead Guy? I forgot his name already.
What the
I'm.
druid?
That is like 100% Cal. Forget people's names and a little bit racist. But I genuinely like. Is it like Durain or something like that?
Hold on. Because
Sheridan?
I get all the kids mixed up because there's 3 of them. Oh shit. There it
I
goes.
felt like it was something DUR. I felt like that was in there.
Hold on. Like I said, I get them and the kids mixed up. And I am Microsoft.
What I was going to say is I have a spell that lets me speak to the dead. And I could like
Oh.
force him to talk to us. He doesn't have to tell the truth and he can like he still is himself and he wouldn't know anything after he died. So like he wouldn't gain any extra information or know anything that he didn't already know. But I could ask him for more information now that he's dead.
Give me the whole rundown.
You grant a semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth, and it cannot be undead. The spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell in the last 10 days. So you can't just like keep casting it and forcing them to ask you lots of
Does he
questions.
still have a mouth? How did he die?
Orryn
Who
like
got the
upper.
final blow?
Oh, I think Orryn like uppercutted him or something, wasn't it? Didn't-
I mean, as long as it's there, it
the
doesn't
pet,
like as
I
long as
think.
it's like it doesn't need
I'm
to be
not-
all together, you know, like it could be a skeleton of a mouth. Like until the spell ends, you can ask up to 5 questions. The corpse only knows what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. The corpse
Cool,
is under
I'm
no
in.
compulsion to answer those questions. If you are hostile or it recognizes you as an enemy. So like this spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, only its animating spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, comprehend new things, or learn anything about what happened to it since it's died, and it can't speculate about future events.
I love
So
it.
it's not bringing it back to life. It's sort of just making its consciousness.
It's only mostly dead.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Anyways, I don't have to. If I do cast it, it takes 10 minutes, so we're chilling here for a bit. But I don't know if there's anything more we need to ask this guy. There's, or more specifically, anything that he would tell us, because
he's a deranged weirdo, and we
And you just killed him. Oh, look who needs help.
But now that he's dead and he lost, maybe it could be like, well, you lost. Why don't you,
Here, put her there, pal. You're the better group.
Right. So he might not answer questions, but see, if I was like a wizard or something, this works better because then I could cast disguise self or something and make myself look like one of his drow children, and then maybe I could get more information. But anyways, it's just something I have. I don't know if it's of any value.
If we take a long rest, I can cast maybe. I thought I had a spell to make someone else look some way. Maybe it's a higher level spell. So now I get disguise self. I guess I don't have.
Yeah, it doesn't work if it's you because I have to ask the questions. So it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, maybe. What if I had you and Jaatuuli looking like prisoners and say, these prisoners wanted to ask you a question.
Why are prisoners asking questions? This guy killed his own children. This guy's, or well, he didn't kill them, but he was kind of he treated them like cannon fodder. I don't think he has much mercy or interest in prisoners.
The only way we could bring him back to life, or the only reason we should, is to eat him and kill him again.
That's fair. It's always nice, Jaatuuli, always coming here with the logic. You're right. We don't need to do this. This is a waste of time. Okay, sorry, I got carried away. Can I just do a brief cursory look over the other areas in the vicinity? Let me just pull up a map. X33, because it's kind of open. Just take a look and see if there's anything of value or any reason to stick around.
Yes. So, all right. So you'll come through the vault into kind of the anteroom of the vault. Weird shape funnels into the vault door through another set of double doors out into the kind of corridors once again. To the north towards X33. It looks like a large kind of ornate room with a bunch of little kind of cubbies, alcoves cut into the walls of kind of regal standing dwarven statues. From what you can tell in the hallway, you just kind of see 2 or 3 nice dwarven statues carved out of the same rock as the rest of the fortress in a bunch of alcoves. To the south, you'll see a hallway that splits left and right.
Have we been down either?
You haven't been down that way.
No, we kind of came straight here. We chased the guy down, and we didn't actually search these other little side things. I guess the question is, do we want to see if there's more treasure and risk potential further injury, or are we done?
I will say, as we searched, in X33 or X37 or X35, we could use any of those as a resting place.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sleep with the dead bodies, so that's fair.
Well, we have the rope trick. We have an apartment.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Can I just look? I don't know. I'll open in Dungeon Master's Choice. I randomly choose to open one of the cubbies in X33.
They're not. Like I said, they're more just cutouts into the wall, and statues just kind of stand there. So they're going to be just a statue cut into the wall, statue cut into the wall, statue.
More like nuts.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Any value?
They're They look like they're more in a kind of like reverence or memorial than anything. They're not like adorned with any jewels. There's no kind of plaques or anything signifying, their importance. It just seems to be, maybe a memorial, maybe a tomb.
Oh, okay. No touchy. Uh, uh, I back up, and then I turn around and let's check this. Yeah, I'll go left and check the X35 and see, kind of looking for a place to rest with no dead bodies.
All right. Into X35, it's a double set of doors. You
Yeah.
open it up, and it appears to be like a living quarters. There
good.
are purple, like tapestries all over the walls. A spider
Purple's always
statue. And
What?
what's that?
A spider statue?
Yes.
Spider's not so great.
And spider like tapestries on the wall, all of them in kind of a purple and silver color scheme. And it looks like
I see.
perhaps somebody lived here.
Yeah. Can I search the area, see if there's anything of value?
Sure.
Sorry, I got something in my eye. What should I roll?
Investigation. Look, you can look around, see if anything triggers.
Hey, 16.
Hey, very nice. As you kind of search the room through everything, there's a desk, some paperwork. One of the papers you recognize as a map of Icewind Dale with a couple of spots like X'd, marked.
Never seen that before.
For some reason. One of them you recognize as the location of the frozen ship that you guys checked out.
I see.
Julie's gonna take it and take a look at it.
Okay.
I'm really good with maps as an Outlander.
And from here, if you want to take a look at it, you can give me an investigations check.
All right.
Survival for being able to read a map.
Survival would be better because
Okay.
investigation would make me an idiot.
This is definitely Icewind Dale, y'all.
Yes.
You're welcome.
This is a set it down.
Why does it say Google Maps on the top?
What is Google?
We use Bing here.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You're
I'm finding the page with my skills on it. All right, there you go. Survival. There we go. 23.
The locations on the map are places you would expect large creatures towards like the high end of the food chain to hunt. They're along the shore where whales are known to congregate. One of the marks is up by your village in the very north of Icewind Dale. And a couple of them are where you believe like Cryovane's nest to be.
This should not be public knowledge. This should not be knowledge for anyone. In my hands, it will remain safe. Maybe we should go and see Cryovane.
Well, actually, after everything that's happened, that does seem like something reasonable to do. Since this guy was all getting involved with white dragons, it seems. And maybe Cryovane knows what that spirit thing was, or maybe who this dragon was. Maybe. So, yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I do not look forward to sharing the news of a white dragon's death with him.
That is fair.
Maybe Cryovane will appreciate that we took revenge.
I will tell him in great detail of how we killed him.
Awesome. I'll let you do the talking. He's probably more comfortable with you than he is a stranger, an outsider. So I will let you get right up and close to the dragon.
Yes, I will talk, as is my specialty.
Of course. Okay.
Well,
Do we
now
want
we've
to
got
sleep
kind of
with the
a direction.
spiders? Or
You
do
know
we
what?
want to look further?
We do have a direction to go now, and if we want to stay in this room, I'll just have Jaatuuli pull down all the
Spider iconography.
yeah, I'll pull it all down, roll it all up into a bundle, and throw it out the door.
Yeah, sure. This will be like the trashiest sleepover ever. Let's do it.
This is garbage.
I'm gonna treat this shit like a Quality Inn, just throw all the furniture
Yeah,
down.
just fucking like we're throwing pillows out. It's like this pillow's gross. Throw it out in the front of the. Yep, we're doing
taking
it.
the mirror off the wall. Yeah, one of those parties. Yeah, totally get it.
Carrying spider statue out, and then
Actually, yeah, and this would give you a chance. You probably want to ritually cast alarm. You mentioned you have that, and just put it out there just in case. And I'll hold on to my 2 spells as like emergency
Now,
healing.
with alarm, I can actually, it's 10 minutes each, so like, it depends on how long we actually want to have me setting it up. But I think you can actually have multiple set up. Like, it doesn't say there's any limit.
It's not concentration.
No, just
you could
ritual.
sleep with an alarm set if you had to concentrate on it.
And it lasts for 8 hours too. So.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess you could just cast it a bunch of times.
We can always.
I mean, I don't feel like we needed a bunch though. Just like there's only one way into this, so.
Well, I was thinking that if we had it at a further exit, it would warn us.
We could bar the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and give
Up to
me
you.
the alarm spell details.
Yeah, it's choose a door, a window, or an area, so it doesn't have to. It can just be any space within range that is no larger than a 20-foot cube. Until the spell ends, an alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature touches or enters the warded area. When you cast the spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. You also choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. A mental alarm alerts you with a ping in your mind if you are within 1 mile of the warded area. This ping awakens you if you are sleeping. An audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 10 seconds within 60 feet.
Okay. All right. Where do you want to put it?
Which room are you all wanting to stay in?
Where it's in X35. So if you put it like in that hallway that like at the T that blocks both ways, then that would make sure that at the very least, that if somebody is heading in this direction or passing through that hallway, we would know.
That's what Orryn will do then. He'll put it right there. And it's 20 feet, so I assume there's
it covers plenty.
Okay. Do you want mental or audible?
I'll make it. I'll make it mental.
And you understand, like, the way I would is that it would be, if it goes off, it's enough to wake you up, but you alone, right? If you go audible, then it wakes up everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure that audible actually would wake them up because it says under a mental alarm alerts you. This ping awakens you if you were sleeping.
Okay.
Then the next thing it says an audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell. So I'm not 100% sure that an audible alarm would assume that it wakes us up.
Maybe I'm a
that's
really
why.
deep sleeper, y'all.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It'd probably wake us
Like
up.
I said, I
I
imagine
mean,
so.
Clang, 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 clang.
yeah. I mean, I imagine it would, but just to be. I mean, I don't care. Whatever
Yes,
you
we
want
will
to get.
have to shake Jaatuuli awake, but everyone else will wake up. Yeah.
For the cryo man should bite his face.
Come on, come on.
Like that, I'm like cuddling a teddy bear or something like.
And if we bar the door as well, if it's a mental alarm, I can like quietly wake people up and be like, "Hey, there may be someone out there. Let's."
Well, no one will know we're in here if they walk in, and we're rope tricking and the rope's pulled up. They're not going to see anything.
Well, we're not going to rope trick unless we like have to, right?
Oh, okay.
Is there a
Yeah.
cost to casting rope trick?
Second levels. It'll be my last spell slot.
But then you'll be.
But it would create a safe space for us for how long?
Yeah, then we wouldn't even like need. Well, it's 1 hour. It's only for a short rest.
Oh, okay. So, it's not for. Okay, yeah. So we
Yeah.
don't need that. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, no short rest here.
Yeah.
All right.
We want a long rest.
Okay.
We
So-
kill the baddies.
You set the your alarm kind of area in the middle of the hallway after you guys threw out all the shit that was unpleasing to you in the druid's room out into the hallway. It is a door that can be barred. You guys want to lock it?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, might as well bar the door.
Okay.
I'll put my axe handle through the door to bar it and lock it.
All right. And everybody just right to bed, long rest. We're tired.
Yeah, as long as there's no fools of a toque here,
Weary.
then I don't mind locking the door.
Nice. All right. So Jaatuuli bars the door with his axe. Orryn sets an alarm area out in the hallway, and you drift to sleep.
Well, before sleep
Alright.
times, I'm gonna peruse the letter again. Is there any other information on the letter, or was it just that short and concise?
It was just that short and concise.
Okay. Do I have the ability to message him again?
Yeah, as long as you have like the physical piece of paper, the expectation or part of your arrangement is that he sends you something, you write something in return, and then it goes right back to him.
Okay. Yeah. After some time, I'm going to get the group's attention. I'm going to say, now that we're done here, and that we've done, what we kind of set out to do, at least for this part of our journey, and that we've been traveling together for a period of time, I need to warn you about the consequences of traveling with me. I came to Icewind Dale after a long journey through the south. I originally lived in Baldur's Gate, and I slowly made my way north on foot, and I'm doing that to evade people who are pursuing me. This letter that Bezbit sent me just informs me that before I left Bezbit back at the start of our journey, I asked him to warn me if he saw certain people coming, because I know that they're looking for me. I didn't think that it would be so quick, but apparently they've found a way through the Dale, possibly through magic or something. I have old troubles that follow me still, and if those people catch up to me, I don't need any of you to come to any harm to protect me from them. To be honest with you, they are justified in their pursuit of me. It's complicated, but I thought I should warn you since it looks like my pursuers are catching up to me.
Well, you can say we shouldn't put ourselves in harm's way, but we won't let them do anything to you. Even if you made mistakes in the past, you can't let yourself just end. What you're doing for Icewind Dale at the moment is more important than whatever qualm they have with you from the past.
Yeah, I don't. Oh Jesus. Oh, okay. Sorry. A bunch of random shit popped up on my screen.
Redemption. We will keep you alive until you are redeemed. If you cannot be redeemed, then you will be cast on your own.
I have done things that might not deserve redemption. And I've walked the path that I have in some sort of false hope, maybe, or at least in some misguided sort of godly driven way to try and seek redemption, but I don't feel like I've made amends. And the people who are following me are justified in what they want to do to me. It's I guess in a way I'm a little bit of a coward because I do like being alive. And I'm kind of afraid to die, but I know I guess so many years ago, I'd give you a little of my history because it'll kind of bring some clarity to this. Many, many years ago, when I was young, I lived a very privileged life. I was never rich per se, but my family was decent enough, and I never fought or dealt with conflict or anything like that. I had a happy life. And I kind of moved from city to city. My mother died when I was in my teens, and uh, my father fell into a deep depression and also faded away over time. And once they were gone, I kind of had to fend for myself, and I did okay for a while, and I made a living for myself. But later on, I started to run into some hardships. I made some mistakes, and I found that inside of me, there is something that revels in violence. If I was pushed and I responded and I hurt a lot of people, I am or was a murderer.
Oh. So, Mr. Holy Man, murderer. Perhaps Jaatuuli is not quite such a barbarian.
I mean, it seems long ago, but I guess it wasn't that long ago. I felt like I was trying to do the right thing. I thought I was being heroic, but I didn't quite understand the term, and I lashed out at people who had caused harm to people I knew. And when I commit acts of violence, I lose control and I harm anyone around me. And the people who are pursuing me are doing so out of revenge. They are seeking revenge for the people I've harmed. And some of those people were very close to me. And I feel like if I let them catch up to me, I will let them do what they want to me.
Why did you not tell Jaatuuli sooner? I could have coached you on how to use your rage.
It's not rage. There is something inside of me that takes over if I commit acts of violence. I lose control.
Jaatuuli's gonna lean way in and you have a passenger.
I don't know. My background is the haunted one. I've never. It's not like something that speaks to me. It's just something that feeds on violence. It's why I try so hard not to do any acts of violence. It's not because sometimes violence isn't the solution to things, but if I commit acts of violence, I do lose control. I've harmed many people that I held dear because of those actions. The man who's pursuing me is one of the he's sort of high up in the Flaming Fist mercenary group. And I killed his daughter.
He was unable to defend her.
He wasn't there.
So you didn't give him a chance to defend her.
No. When I realized what I had done, I pull off my armor and I pull up my shirt, and you can see inside I have a scar in my chest that goes all the way through into my back, and like somebody had skewered me with a sword. He stabbed me and I ran. I was so sure I was going to die. I fled from Baldur's Gate and hid in the forests nearby. And I was lying there in the dark, bleeding out. And an unknown amount of time went by, and I woke up, and my wound wasn't bleeding. It was just a scar, and while it still injures me gravely, and it's why I have a -2 on dexterity. While it pains me greatly and makes it difficult for me to do certain things, I didn't die, and there was nobody around. And from that point on, I've been able to heal people. And I guess I thought that maybe somebody was watching out for me or trying to grant me some redemption. But also, I suppose there's a degree of selfishness or narcissism in those thoughts. But I can do what I can do, and I couldn't before. And since I haven't committed any acts of violence since, I've never lost control again. So
Would Orryn know enough about that kind of thing, like the Arcana bits, to be able to pick up on it being a possible entity?
What, that, like, whatever is, like, which one? The mysterious thing that's given him powers, or the mysterious thing?
No,
the thing he's trying to
the-
suppress, the Dark Passenger.
Yeah.
If we're gonna keep the Dexter reference going.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm gonna let Kelroth answer that. I mean, I don't. I'm watching Riveted just like the rest of you, so.
I roll and I'll decide what I'm gonna tell you.
24.
There are no outward signs that like I've been enchanted or charmed or possessed. Like there's no runes or arcane sigils or any like sort of things like that. But I've also kind of implied that since I've stopped committing acts of violence, I haven't had any episodes. So you can take it to be that maybe those things might show themselves if I did do an act of violence. But outwardly, I'm not displaying any magical or enchanted or any other effects.
So here's what Orryn is going to say then. Orryn, being an engineer, says, so there's only one way to test this. It's called the scientific method. First, we create a hypothesis.
I
A
will.
hypothesis.
What?
I said I will slap you.
No, Jaatuuli, we have to test this out. We have to have.
Does that
him-
hurt me?
If you try to hurt me back, you will see what is wrong with you.
I mean, I probably don't have the reflexes to dodge that, so you just hit me in the face. And I go, ow. I'm like, it's been, I understand what you're trying to do. But
I thought
obviously I've spent a long time trying very hard to resist. I don't have a compulsion to commit violence. At least I think I'm in control of my faculties and my ability to think. It only happens as a result of doing something violent.
But Kelroth, we can't begin to understand the root of the issue.
Laboratory
unless you get
experiment. I'm
Putting
telling
on a
you,
coat.
the last time I did
Orryn gets out
this-
a journal and starts writing down as he speaks.
How do you feel?
the last time I hurt
It's back right
somebody,
now.
I killed innocent people.
Yes, but do you think you're going to be able to kill Jaatuuli and me and Baldr, who's asleep over there?
There's
Ooh.
listen, it's not about whether I can kill you or not. It's about if I can't stop, you might have to kill me.
But we have ways of putting you to sleep.
Jaatuuli is rifling through his pack and goes, pulls a little dagger out. Stab. Come on.
You with like a baby dagger.
Yeah, it's just a little ass dagger. Come on, stab Jaatuuli.
My first dagger.
I don't think this is a good idea. We're all injured and tired, and
I'm just
This
we
is
are
the
still
perfect
in
time.
somewhat hostile environment.
just flexing.
Starting a round of combat right now is not a good idea.
But
Is it not
Kelroth,
enough to know that I've murdered innocent people?
It is.
You're talking to Jaatuuli. He's pretty much okay.
I mean, I'm city life, you're barbarian life. It's different.
When does confession begin?
I was an innocent man.
When are you gonna unburden your soul? Oh, this? Yeah. You're fine, bro. I still love you. Come here.
Exactly.
You're trying. I put my head down and I say, because of the people who I harmed, I don't think I deserve to be redeemed personally. I've gone on this journey as sort of a last-ditch effort, but if they catch up to me and they decide they want to harm me or imprison me, I will not defend myself.
Kelroth, you are a cleric. You are a master of healing. If you let a wound sit there without attending to it, what does it do? It festers. If you don't heal this wound of your past, it'll just fester and infect you until the day you die.
I'm hype manning Orryn right now.
Yeah.
uh, I pull out the letter. I just show them. I mean, all the letter says is that it's from Besbit, and the letter simply says that the people that I warned him to keep an eye out for were looking for me and are heading to Icewind Dale, and that he specifically didn't tell them anything about me because I had asked him not to. If I mean, I maybe there's a little bit of doubt. I haven't. All these extraordinary things have happened to me in such a short period of time, and I'm old. I've lived a long time. I mean, I'm a half elf, but I'm not going to live for hundreds of years. But I'm like, I'm in my 40s. And like I died, or I thought I did, and now I'm not. But now, I've never met anyone who was able to identify what's wrong with me, or if there is something wrong with me. What if there isn't anything wrong with me? What if I'm just a violent man? Like, it's, no one's ever told me there was anything magically wrong with me.
You may not have spoken to someone who understood the problem.
Well, do you see anything wrong with me?
Well, we won't know until we experiment.
Don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea here.
Well, we can't force you to do it. But
no, you really can't. It's like I didn't come out here and make a bunch of friends, comrades, going through this adventure to then be provoked to attack them and potentially harm or kill them. That wasn't my goal.
I understand. I will respect your wishes. I go over to Jaatuuli. I whisper and say, next time we get in a fight, we have to throw the fight so that he has to help us out.
And just smug face. Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. All right.
Perhaps we should rest. You seem extra troubled.
This is always how it has been. And I pull out my bedroll, I go into a corner, and I attempt to sleep.
Orryn takes the remaining pieces of his little buddy that I have decided to call Kiwi. And he is going to get to work fixing Kiwi.
Rest in peace, Kiwi. All right. Jaatuuli? You just gonna go to sleep?
I'm gonna stand over Kelroth, and I do not smell anything unusual. And I lay down and probably smash a little bit of the bed while I jump in it, because it's probably drow sized.
It's just a crunching.
Yeah, normal. Yeah.
All right. Baldr's in his trance, and for everybody who's still awake, it's going to look a little more fitful than normal. Usually, it's very calm and tranquil, and
I see him like Doctor Stranging it, where he's like,
yeah, just odd little jerks and something that's a little out of the ordinary for his periods of rest. Orryn working diligently and vengefully repairing Kiwi to close this chapter off on your little buddy's life. He walked in and he's going to walk out, by God. Kelroth's going to go sleep, and Jaatuuli, I don't know, I guess fat man in a little bed, I don't know. Feet, tail, arms, just everything, nothing really fits in the drow bed. One of the legs is broken when you sat on it, so kind of sits to one end. And the night passes for the most part. Your alarm lasts 8 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody who gets... Are you going to get to sleep at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured because the shifts, I'd probably like go reset the alarm whenever it's my shift to watch. Have a little bit of an overlap.
Okay. A couple of hours in, Orryn, you might still be awake. Everybody else is asleep or in a trance. Your little mental alarm is going to go off. Is it what? Just once something ends, is that it? Or is it like a grocery store where if you walk in and walk out and walk in and walk out, it dings every time?
Interesting.
I think it keeps going. It does not say that it ends after the first one.
Okay.
It just says that I can designate creatures that won't set it off. So.
Okay. So it's going to go off once, and then twice, and then a third time, and a fourth time, and a fifth time. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be like groups of 2 with like a longer pause in between 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6.
Orryn will wake up Kelroth and Jaatuuli real quick. Be like, hey, there's a weird pattern of a creature moving in the alarm. It's almost like it's moving in and out. That's kind of what it sounds like. It's kind of moving in and like it's almost pacing through it.
Yeah. Okay.
So Orryn says it could be multiple creatures, but the alarm keeps getting tripped. But the pattern of it sounds like it's a creature or maybe 2 creatures that may be like pacing around.
Whoa. Go listen. I'll put my head up against the door. Do I hear anything?
Give me a perception check through the door.
Yeah. Should have used a cup. I didn't have one on hand. Perception. I got a 14. I got a decent perception.
It sounds like something scraping on the floor. Yeah, like you're dragging something across the floor. Not heavy, but not the sounds of like a cadence of footsteps or like the chittering of, multiple feet. Just shh.
I'll report that to Orryn and Kelroth.
But
Sounds
like,
weird.
okay, but nothing's like come to the door. I feel like we're safe for now. Whatever it is doesn't know we're here, or doesn't seem to care that we're here. It hasn't like attacked
what-
the door or attempt to open it. Let's just keep a watch and let's finish our rest.
Yes, but if we get a surprise on it,
But it might just leave or something.
if it notices the door is barged, or it can detect magic and detect that my alarm is set up, then it could go get reinforcements. While if it's just one, we could take it out really quickly.
What if it's tasty?
Well,
Jaatuuli makes a
not
good
many
point there.
things in here have been tasty. Just reminder that
It's drow flesh.
yeah. It's up to you guys. I don't think it matters at this point.
I leave the door, go back to bed. We'll not worry about it. If we have to worry about it, Jaatuuli will make it not a problem anymore.
Okay.
Back to sleep.
After everybody kind of not ignores, but makes their decision about how to handle Orryn's alarm, it continues to go off, like in the same kind of pattern, for basically the rest of its duration. If you don't go out and check on it, it will go right up until the spell ends, and the first time Orryn's alarm won't be going off in quite some time is only because the spell has ended.
So after like 30 minutes, because gnomes have to sleep to get the full benefits of a rest, right?
Yeah.
So after like 30 minutes or an hour, Orryn will wake up Kelroth and Jaatuuli again and say, "Hey, it'd be really nice if I could get some sleep, but this thing keeps walking around there. Can we please make it stop?"
It's continued.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Well, I don't have like if we get into battle, I don't really got a lot going on here. Don't got a lot going on, guys.
My hand on your shoulder and slide you out of the way. Open the door.
Okay.
Take my axe. Open it.
All right. Push door open.
All right. As you open the door,
If it's a kitty, I'm killing it.
They must die. The hallway goes from that kind of odd magical torchlight that the entire place has been lit with to this kind of spectral blue glow, and two dwarven figures appear, ethereal in nature, not actually solid and tangible. They
Fucking
look
ghost boys.
very well dressed. Yeah, I'm trying to work it up right now. And they do look like statues that were in the crypt earlier, just materialized and in the flesh. And
That's
as
pretty cool.
you look out the window, or you open the door, they're moving away from you and back north up the hallway. You weren't quiet in opening the door. It's got a squeaky hinge. And even with you making the sounds, they did not deter from their kind of course. Almost like a kind of track that they just make through the hallway.
Close the door.
Should we call out to it?
I'm gonna stand out in the hallway and go, "Hey, what are you doing?" Oh, super aggressive.
You see them disappear going north up the hallway, and after a noticeable period of time, more so than if they had just turned around the second they heard your voice. They probably went all the way to the end of the hallway and came back on their path as they have. They just kind of make the turn and look at you. Are you one of the awakened as well?
I am awake.
Yeah, we're awakened because of you.
You keep
Yes.
eating us.
I just like, what do you mean by awakened?
We do not belong here. We have been awakened from our rest by the evil perpetrated here in our homes where we ruled, where our lines established their dynasties.
The ones who have taken your property are gone now. We wish to rest and we will be gone as well.
Is there any way that we could help you be unawakened?
Kelroth, you know what? They
What?
keep awakening us, so why should we help them with their problem?
You're grumpy today. I'm sorry
I haven't
you needed
had
that
my
long
nap.
rest.
I haven't had my
Goodness.
nappy nap.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm going to sleep.
What would help you return to your peace?
The spirit that corrupted these halls is loose. And until it is tamed, we shall haunt these halls.
Orryn walks over to the edge of the alarm, says, "Will you please haunt that side of the hall instead of this side?"
I mean, you could turn off alarm, remove it if you just want to go back to sleep. Do we want to help the cool dwarf ghost things? Or do we want to just go to sleep?
We are done helping.
Oh.
Fuck off. And I'll go walk back in. Let's go. Kelroth, Orryn. We are done here. Turn the fucking alarm off.
Orryn takes out his tool belt and starts undoing the alarm. He's like, "You all just ruined my knot, okay? I was so happy to get Kiwi back, and you all have ruined it all."
What is your rules about casting a lower level spell at a higher level when it doesn't say specifically that you can?
Depending on what it is, I'll let you make the save DC higher, or like any other ones, if there's...
Well, it's more a lot of spells like Cure Wounds, if you cast a higher level, you just add more dice, right? But some spells just have a specific effect, and if you cast them at a higher level, it doesn't, like Lesser Restoration, for example. It doesn't do anything different it just does what it does. Are you allowed to use a higher level spell slot? I don't know if that's actually written somewhere.
Yeah, you're allowed to, I'm pretty sure.
So you...
I'm 99%.
You want to use Lesser Restoration to give these...
No.
Okay.
I want to cast the spell Augury, but I don't have a second level spell slot.
Yeah. And what, you get a limited number of questions?
Augury is just I can receive an omen about an action I plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
That's it. So I'm not asking any questions.
It's just one action?
It takes it's instantaneous. I could to be fair, I could cast as a ritual. So I could do it for 10 minutes and not use it. Well, right. I'll just cast it ritually.
Okay.
I forgot that it's a ritual, so I cast it ritually. It won't use a spell slot. It just takes 10 minutes. And yeah, so I am going to implore the deity that gives me my powers about if I should go and help these dwarfs or deal with this spirit thing.
Okay.
And yeah, and then I just get an omen, and there are 4 results. Wheel for a good result,
Whoa.
woe for a bad result, wheel and woe for both good and bad,
And
or
then,
just
I don't
nothing.
know.
Which is just a result that's neither especially good or bad. So it's just.
All right. So your course of action on which you need a judgment is going to be exactly what? Because isn't that how it works? You have to like kind of display like a hypothetical course of action, and so
Yeah, helping the dwarves.
Okay, so helping the dwarves is the hypothetical action.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the DM chooses what omen I receive.
Okay.
The spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as casting a certain spell or anything. It's just if I do X, which is go and help the dwarves, what kind of. So it's very up to your interpretation. This is like the lowest level of divination spells, so it's not like.
And then what you have like bones or something specifically for
yeah.
Okay.
I've got like giant bone knuckles.
Yeah.
That I've been using as tokens. Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna roll your dice and kind of control your ritual.
And they explode my face.
And all of your finger bones are going to form into very concise X's, like crossed, that is going to give you the signal that this is bad. No, X's are hugs.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, do not hug the ghost dwarves is what your Jiminy Cricket is telling you.
I got a big old bat on that. Okay, well, good to know. All right, well, I think the solution here is to turn off your alarm or to place the alarm closer to the door so that they don't keep waking you up. I'm gonna listen to.
Whoever. Yep. Okay. All right. Orryn, turn off the alarm and let it be.
I'm already asleep.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah. Orryn's gonna turn off the alarm. He's not very happy, still being awake after listening to it for an hour.
Okay. You turn off the alarm. As you open the door and have confronted the ghost, the kind of scraping sound that you heard on the floor is their kind of ethereal robes scraping on the stone. It registers in everybody's head, and after the door closes again, after you're done dealing with them, everybody can hear the subtle sound of their robes scraping on the floor in a regular, kind of a regular interval of time, as they seem to just be pacing throughout the hallways here. They never pound on the door. They never actually physically disturb anything or bump into anything or really make any noise. They just seem to be out there just kind of drifting around. Jaatuuli back to sleep. Baldr still in his odd kind of fitful trance. Orryn crashing hard probably.
Yeah, Orryn's definitely ready for bed after being kept awoken.
Okay. Alright, so the party will drift off and maintain their ability to get a long rest. So go ahead and mash that little button on D&D Beyond just for everybody too. And you wake up, and in the morning, as it comes, the sound of the ghosts kind of trailing through the hallways remains ever present, the same interval as it has always been, as if they haven't slept or stopped from their kind of route up and down the hallway since last night.
So now that Orryn has got a sleep in, he is very curious to help them. Like now, he's up for the adventure.
Okay.
He's no longer a cranky little gnome.
Kelroth's god might have something to say about this course of action, but hey. Yeah, you're going to kind of wake up. The forge still seems exceptionally warm for all of the time that has passed since killing the druid and his other drow cohorts. It's still really warm, as if the forge is still active on this floor, and it's hot and it's starting to get humid. Everybody kind of crammed into this relatively small room, and the kind of sentinel stoic march of the dwarves outside continues.
I hate those dwarves. Annoying. Leave this complex before we end up working for ghosts. Why did you not turn?
Their problem seemed pretty interesting, though. If we helped them, we may learn some new things.
You could have just turned them, Kelroth.
He has a point.
I don't. I mean, they're innocent, aren't these their halls?
They were.
No. When they're keeping us awake, they better learn to stay on their side of the hall.
I feel like we've changed.
This is our halls now.
Oh, okay. I am not going to turn the ghosts. I think we could just leave.
Well, we can help them now that we've gotten their sleep in. They just should keep us awake. Like, if we're going to help them, they should have the common courtesy to let us get a good night's rest before we go help them.
I think that it's possible that this place called, what is it called? Sunbreakers? Sunblight. And like, I think that this place might not be good, and that the people, these ghosts, might not be good, and doing anything to restore them or return them or anything is probably not something we need to be involved in or doing or anything. I think we're done here. I think it's time to go.
I believe Kelroth's words.
Okay, but they know
I
what
think
they
these
say about
ghosts,
when you make an assumption.
I'm not totally basing it on nothing. I'm basing it on divine magic.
Yeah, but
which
what
I
if your
suppose is
god
nothing,
made
but
an assumption?
I don't know.
Exactly. It could
know
be
him.
so fun. It could be so fun to go see what's going on with the ghosts.
I attack Orryn. No.
Get in the bag, little man. We're getting out of here. I stuff him in my travel pack, and
Or just like turns into a turtle into his armor.
make a strength save to bust out of a bag of holding.
I I get the feeling that these were bad dwarves.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm analyzing what we've seen so far and the name of this place and everything. I don't think these dwarves need our help. And I think we did what we set out to do anyways. So
Let's go find food.
All right.
Yeah, Jaatuuli
Jeez,
has a
Baldr,
point.
you're,
You can't
you're
eat
sure
a
being
ghost.
quiet right now. Normally you give me a hard time about everything. What's going on?
I'll go over to Baldr and. Oh, what are you gonna do? Throw him over my shoulder, like he's despawned or whatever.
Just drag him on the floor.
Yeah, he's AFK.
Yeah, he's AFK, so I just flip him over my shoulder. All right, let's go.
He's grabbing pizza. Pick him up.
he comes jumping back when you guys get out of range every now and again. All right. So you guys are out of here.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Okay. As you leave the quarters of the what you believe to be the druid, the ghost's still on their kind of patrol up and down the hallway. They make no attempt to yield, like out of the way, as you walk through them as they're coming by. You all manage to pass entirely through them. To no ill effect or any kind of thing.
I wouldn't walk through them gross. I'd be like, I'd
Personal
skirt up
space.
against the wall. Yeah.
As you make your way into the forge, the large room, let's go ahead and put that back up. Boom, boom. It's still just oppressively hot, if not active anymore. Nobody has been here in at least probably 10 hours, 12 hours since you first came through here. The crystal in the vat in which the heart was put into has crystallized into this greenish gray, like flat kind of almost like a concrete looking mix from the once kind of very elegant melted obsidian black shiny that it once was. The forge is now dead, lack of activity, and the white dragon corpse seems to have decayed at an exceptional rate than normal.
Odd.
Dragon's dead, right? Like it's
Yeah.
dead.
It was dead when you got there.
Right.
Rub it in.
Should we take any of the dragon? Like, do we just leave it? Should we? I don't know. How?
Remove the dragon from this building, lest it becomes a ghost.
How the hell do we do that? It's huge, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's definitely not going to fit in the lift.
How did it get in here? We're
Is there any windows?
Not here. You're completely into the mountain.
I assume it's been magicked here. I don't think we have the magic or the engineering to get this thing out of here.
Orryn's like, hold on, fam.
Yeah.
Well, okay, more specifically, the time to engineer a way to get this out of here.
Is there no way I could drag this thing back out to the gate?
No, it's massive, and most importantly, like I said, it won't fit in the lift.
All right.
Yeah, you guys went up like one or two at a time on the lift.
We shall leave it here. It is unfortunate, but there's nothing we can do currently.
Well, it's dead. So
We could come back later.
Oh, oh! I cast Speak Dead on the dragon.
Okay.
Speak with Dead.
You speak dragon?
No, I don't speak Draconic, but
I do.
I do have the spell to to speak any language,
Okay.
tongues. So, and yeah, neither of them are concentration, so I'd be able to cast both. Okay, so, but I think, okay, let's see. Okay, okay. I mean, it would. I mean, most dragons know lots of languages, so it knew all the languages it knew in life, so it probably knows common, even if it doesn't like common, but it shouldn't matter for the situation. So I I could cast Speak with Dead and talk to the dragon, find out what happened to it. You know, it, it would know everything it would have known up until when it died. So it probably doesn't know where it is or how it got here, unless it died here. But it would know, and maybe it knows Cryovane or it's something like that. Like maybe, who knows? Before I cast the spell,
What if we use levitate on the body using that artifact that we gave you and tied a rope to it and just carried around like a balloon?
well, one, that doesn't last long enough for that really to be like, we'd be here for a long time because it only lasts for 10 minutes.
That's fucking hopeful.
And it took us days to get here.
I love it.
But also, again, we still have
It took me so long to think of that idea.
I'm
Come
sorry. I'm sorry. Your idea is great if there was like a garage door that opened that let dragons fit out of.
It's a freight elevator.
If we want to speak with the dragon, mostly speaking to Jaatuuli here.
Oh, I got another idea. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I cast Enlarge Reduce on the dragon's body, turning it into a smaller body.
But if it's like gigantic and you turn it into huge, it's still probably not going to fit.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
And it only lasts
Like
a minute,
because if this dragon is like 50 Jaatuuli sizes, you know, and you reduce it to 25 Jaatuulis, that's still nowhere. Like the elevator shaft barely fit a Jaatuuli.
So Orryn does have access to levitate, which for him will definitely be balloons attached to it to make it float.
We have weird priorities here about taking this dragon with us.
Well, I mean, it's just a respectful thing to do for Cryovane.
You were angry at Ghost last night.
Yeah, I was deprived of sleep. That is totally different.
I feel like
right now.
I feel like these last 10 hours have been emotional whiplash for me. I'm asking if we want to speak to the dragon, maybe find out some more information. If we do, we need to come up with 5 questions to ask it, because it will only answer 5 questions.
It's not limited to yes or no questions, is it? Or was
It can answer any question. The problem is that it might not always answer truthfully, and it might not always give the best of answers.
So,
but I can ask it any type of question. It doesn't have to be a yes or no question or anything like that.
the best of its value, why was it taken? Or, like, does it know what the ritual was for? And I guess is the best thing. Because that, to me, is the most important thing. The reason behind the ritual.
How was it captured?
Yeah, how was it
Does that
captured?
matter?
It probably could prevent other white dragons from being taken. Because if they're powerful enough to take a white dragon, you know, like, they probably, knowing how it happened, like what forces they used to take it, at least would help us be more prepared for.
Maybe we can ask if it has a relationship with Cryovane.
Yeah.
We could maybe ask it if it knows anything about Arl, or
Yeah.
like, and then maybe we can ask it about that blue dragon spirit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we will levitate it.
What do you think?
Wingardium Leviosa.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. There's not a day that goes by that I don't say that at work, so it's
Yeah.
fine. Jaatuuli, you got anything? You got a
What
white,
do you think, Jaatuuli?
you got a white
Or
dragon
should we
here.
just not? Should we not bother?
I think it would be best to go and see the havoc the blue spirit has caused rather than sit around and talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Who knows what changes to the world have been made since the dragon spirit has been released.
Yeah.
Maybe we should check on it.
All right. Well, I mean, we might. I guess it's gonna be a journey back. So let's start our long trek back.
Okay.
Let's do another snowball.
I mean, we could do that on the way.
All the way down.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna make your way back through the old dwarven throne room, up the lift, into the kind of. Let's see. Nope, that's the third floor. There it is. Back to the floor in which you came, and the lift is going to come right back into the room X6 where you started, with the little crack in the wall that everybody will fit through just fine, except for Jaatuuli, who's got to kind of shimmy and squeeze his way through. Out into, once again, the Valley of the Frozen Kings, where Sunblight resided. The valley looks almost identical as it did from when you entered. No footprints or anything, save for one set of kind of petite footprints that seem to be leading away from the fortress. And you guys are going to make your way back basically the way you came. 3 days it's going to take. And just about on the second day, or the beginning of the second day, you're going to begin to descend back through the clouds after a night, after actually seeing the sun once again on your return over that really high peak in the Spine of the World Mountains. And as you stand there and bask in the sunlight for only the second time in probably close to a month, the clouds, where they begin as they kind of cover Icewind Dale proper, seem darker and more turbulent than usual. Maybe you've forgotten what they look like. It's been a couple of days since you've been kind of exposed to the curse. Maybe it's because you're standing here in this bright, gorgeous sunshine with all this light reflecting off the snow that it appears darker. But it just does. Your trail from your ascent up the mountain remains almost perfectly intact. No big storms, no significant snowfall. You could almost walk in your exact footsteps heading back down the mountain. By the third day, less than a day out from Icewind Dale, or from 10 towns at least, you break through the mountain, experiencing kind of a heavy snow. Nothing extraordinary, just snow. And for the first time, as you kind of make your way and have a vantage point out into Icewind Dale, it appears as if 3 or 4 of the cities of 10 towns have large plumes of black smoke coming from them over significant portions of the city. They are going to be East Haven. Let me pull my little map up here. Boom. All right. East Haven, Bryn Shander, Goodmead, and Dugan's Hole.
We could use some good mead.
The 4 closest
Hey.
of the 10 towns to you coming out of the mountains all seem to have, like I said, like large plumes of black smoke is kind of scattered about the towns.
Not good.
Well, we failed. Everyone's dead.
Oh, that is not true.
Does it look like the towns are on fire, or that like there's specific columns of fire?
Nothing looks like it's on fire like currently. There's no light of flames
Okay.
breaking through the darkness. It's probably more of a result of something smoldering, as in having been on fire.
We should investigate the closest. See what we can find.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say very quickly that the person who we need to keep our eye out for, as in like someone to avoid, is specifically is a man named Killian the Grey.
What sort of man? Human? Elf?
He was a human.
The worst.
I mean, I'm half human.
Not the good half.
The half worst.
You're an elf to Jaatuuli. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he's like a lieutenant or some high-ranking official within the Flaming Fist Mercenary. His name was Killian the Grey, and I do know that he swore to hunt me down. So if we hear that name, nothing good will come of it.
Hopefully he didn't burn down these cities in an attempt to find you or smoke you out.
Well, he was a good man. He always was, until I did what I did. So it doesn't seem like what something he would do, but also it's hard to say because I don't know if I think he's completely driven by potentially vengeance. So,
Well,
retribution, if you will.
I guess we better find out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which town is the closest?
East Haven would be, just because it's where like your maps all were oriented from.
Yeah.
And it's where the Drow were before we rescued the family from the
It was also the place that we stopped at when we came this way.
Yeah. You stopped at a couple. I was like, you stopped at all of them, didn't you? At least British.
We kind of touched on all the places, but yeah.
Okay. So
we had soup.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take our break real fast. You guys want to go to East Haven? That's the.
Yeah, we'll head to East Haven.
Okay.
It's closest.
All right. Party back out of the Spine of the World Mountains and into Icewind Dale proper. Some villages on fire, and they're gonna go see what's up. Starting in East Haven, we're gonna take a quick 5 to 6 minute break and come back and answer the question: what happens when the party returns after close to a week in the mountains? Maybe things have changed. So it is 8:55 right now. We'll try to be back just a little bit after 9 o'clock, and we will see everybody in just a moment. All right, we are back. The party having made their way down the mountain towards East Haven. As you kind of slowly make your way through the kind of flatlands of Icewind Dale out of the mountains, the towns all appear very dark, and as you make your way closer, there does not appear to be any real activity. No kind of hustle and bustle in the streets, despite East Haven being one of the towns you have managed to do the most amount of good for. Pretty much rooted out the cult of Orryn and set about their kind of path to prosperity. And as you make your way towards the city even closer, there appear to be flyers stuck to every wall, every post, every door, as well as kind of littering the streets, blowing around. And as you make your way closer into town, the flyers become visible, and let me put it in the Discord, even though it's up in stream, just because I'm kind of proud of it and I want you guys to see it. It's a wanted poster.
Oh no!
I like it.
So with
Well, I guess you guys would have found out eventually.
with Kelroth's confession, the wanted poster not quite as shocking.
Wasn't joking.
Old Steve.
And as you all kind of stand there taking in taking in the sight of Kelroth's story kind of come to life in this one little flyer that are covering every surface of East Haven. Subtly from behind you, Kelroth's going to hear the kind of crunching of 4 different sets of feet in the snow.
We're all gonna die.
And from behind you, you hear, "Put up your hands. You are under arrest, all of you."
She doesn't mean me, right?
I'm just gonna turn around and say, "What do you?" No.
Hi.
Yeah, just hello.
As
Yeah.
you turn around, you see a tall human guard, silver hair, an eye patch, and 3 smaller, younger looking humans, kind of in tow, but not really paying attention to what's going on. They all seem to be kind of like invested in their own little whatever they are invested in.
Yeah, you're looking.
You have found us and arrested us.
You're looking different today.
We will go quietly.
Well, I figure that being in your company has proven to be quite dangerous of late. And I also figured that your apprehension at my hands would be best for all involved, as we still have work to do so that you may live up to your end of this bargain that we have struck.
You know, your accent's really cool, but people from Baldur's Gate don't sound like that, right?
And she, you see the kind of veil and magic appearance lift, and underneath it is Volin Harple and her 3 little undead kobolds. As Polymorph kind of lifts from them, she stands there in her true form, ever kind of judging and shitty like she's wont to be, I always knew that the Arcane Brotherhood was not very thorough with their background checks. A wanted murderer and fugitive is a new low for our organization. However, as a group who employed a red wizard to terrible consequence, I feel that a murderer doing right is a better bet than that wizard ever was.
Yeah. We don't like red wizards.
I'm like hanged. Oh, that's didn't really want to die that way.
I'm sure that is for the sake of the masses. I would imagine your death to be quite unpleasant at the hands of this lieutenant of the Flaming Fist, who seems so intent on not only your apprehension, but yours and yours and yours as well.
Have you met him?
I have not had the pleasure of yet. However, the turn of events here in the 10 towns would lead me to believe his manner to be quite harsh and quite single-minded of late, despite some of the, shall we say, other issues surrounding the 10 towns at current time.
Yeah, he's a driven man.
I would say that is an understatement. And she kind of looks around. Well, I regret to inform you that you will most likely not find any safe havens in the 10 towns at present time. For you see, the people here are become quite desperate with the dragon attacks about, that anything they feel that could help them either escape or perhaps offer as an offering, as they once did for Oral, could calm the beast.
Dragon? What dragon?
Yeah, is that what all the burning schmolders are?
Why, yes, there have been an increase of dragon attacks over the last 3 to 4 days, and we have not seen the dragon in about a day's time, but we fear it is simply out feeding before it returns for more wanton destruction.
What does the dragon look like? Does it have a name?
It is the lord and ruler of Icewind that pleasure white dragon Crowvane, who I believe you are acquainted with.
Is Cryovane causing all this?
It is. He flew down out of where we believe his nest to have been 3 days ago and begin just destroying 10 towns unprovoked, which seems very odd for him, as he has for the most part left the people here to their own devices lest they cross him in some way.
This does not sound like Cryovane.
I assure you that it is, for there are no other white dragons around.
Well, we found a dead white dragon.
Yes. A very large dead white dragon.
Yeah.
Male.
And your timing kind of corresponds with when we encountered the dead white dragon.
Could it have been Cryovane's mate, and now he is out for revenge?
Well, and don't forget there was also some sort of ritual that happened, so it could be something magical by nature to put the blame on the Cryovane.
She hears the mention of a ritual and, taken aback for a second, reaches into her thing, kind of flips through pages of a book. Well, I'll be. That's what he was using that crystal for. So, I believe that our drow friend, the druid, has completed his ritual to infuse his spirits into a living thing here in Icewind Dale.
No.
And it would seem as if he has chosen as his avatar of this next life your patron, and he who lets those live here only by his grace, the White Dragon Cryovane.
Wait, you're
What will
saying
happen to my people without the boon of Cryovane?
I doubt our drow friend cares much for the fate of your people, as his only intent seems to be to wipe out life in Icewind Dale so that he and his people may live here once everyone is gone.
What will I do without the boon of Cryovane? I do not feel the boon leave me. I feel comfortable in the snow. I will not abandon my worship of Cryovane.
are you implying that like the drow took over Cryovane?
I believe that was the point of the ritual and the harvesting of the crystal.
Okay, but then okay, so I guess we need to know, is it reversible?
I don't believe so as we currently sit here. If the forge still was active, perhaps we could gather enough crystal and do a new ritual. However, the amount of crystal required to inhabit that body is probably as much as was in this entire area.
Oh,
But like maybe we like, well, okay, so his like soul thingy left when we killed his original body. Maybe if we injure Cryovane, he'll leave that body, and then Cryovane will be okay.
injure Cryovane.
Well, it's not Cryovane for the moment.
I do not like this.
It's just an idea. It's the only thing I have at the moment. I don't know what else to do. I don't know if we have the strength to fight a dragon.
Yes, but
We
sorry.
don't have the right.
This isn't necessarily Cryovane strength. It's just borrowed strength, so maybe it won't be as potent.
Possible.
Where those words. He could also be augmented from the magic that flows within him. That would be quite bad.
And if there's any resistance internally, it would also make it more difficult.
Maybe Cryovane is able to resist, and maybe if we could go to Cryovane, we could help get him unpossessed or whatever. I'm not good with magic of this type. I know how to heal people. Maybe I can heal Crowvein.
Jaatuuli just sits down, all despondent,
Well,
right in the middle of the snow, with his head hanging down, holding on to
at
his
this moment, can I scan around? Is anyone noticing us or approaching us or?
You're still on the outskirts of town, and with the dragon attacks and everything, everybody seems to be staying inside. So there's not like a lot of foot traffic right now.
I'm gonna be looking over my shoulder more frequently now.
It's also like late at night too.
Okay. Well, where do we go from here? Because it, as I kind of implied, I don't. If they're already here and they're looking for me, and they know that I have companions, that it it might not be safe to go back to town.
Valin's gonna get this wry little smile on her face. Well, it is a funny thing that you should mention that, for it is almost the full moon, which means that it is
You're a werewolf?
it is almost time for Aurel's castle to
Oh, that's
reappear.
right.
If ever there was a time to get out of 10 towns and perhaps further our shared agenda, perhaps now is it.
The castle is flying, right?
Floating out in the water.
How would we get to it?
You can't.
I mean, I can get to it, but how does everyone else get there? Huh?
Can you Kelroth?
I can make myself fly.
I know that there is a way beyond the what, the how. I am unsure, but I will aid you in any way that I can to get you to the island. Unfortunately, due to my aura and power, I'm afraid I cannot make the voyage to the island, lest I endanger all of us with my presence.
Well, we need to restock our supplies because we've been through a lot of danger recently. So if we can do that, that would definitely be a big help. And then if is it tonight or is it like tomorrow? It's it the coming night?
It should be in about 2 days' time, which should give us
2
just
days.
enough time to travel to the coast and, shall we say, meet our ride.
Okay. So yeah, if what we need right now is a way to resupply and a way to get to the castle. Those are the two most important things. And well, and then like it does Crowvein go to the castle? Like what's it where's Crowvein?
We have not seen him in about a day's time. We believe him to be feeding somewhere uh, on whatever the largest creatures still available are after. As the curse has progressed, we worry that his feeding schedule might be thrown off by the lack of prey for it to eat, and perhaps hunger is what is driving it to destroy the 10 towns as it is.
Do dragons like eat giants? Is that what they eat? I don't.
I mean,
Yeah,
they could.
little tiny dragon here eats people. It's just like,
I know that's what I'm thinking. I'm like big Jaatuuli eats big people.
It eats whatever the hell it wants, basically, probably.
I guess. Yeah. Um.
bad.
Uh,
This is bad.
Everything's getting worse. We're not helping at all. I give up. I
That's
sit
it.
down.
I'm out of here.
I fold my arms. I'm like, this is too hard.
Take me to the
You're
flaming
dead,
fist. This is
Jaatuuli
bullshit.
now.
Yeah, I'm just like, I resign. Delete my character. Okay. Well,
Jaatuuli and Kelroth are just sitting in the snow, fucking.
oh, so despondent.
Having
What are you gonna do about it, Orryn?
get some enthusiasm, little pep talk.
Yeah, you gonna pep us up, big boy?
You know, the thing about adventure is it's not always easy,
Oh God.
but nothing good ever is easy. The most fun I've ever had was when I was turned into a ghost. When I picked up this ball that looked so interesting, and it just turned me into a ghost. And then Jaatuuli was there, of course. And you know, if I hadn't have went on that adventure, I would have never experienced that. So things may seem rough, but as long as we keep our heads up high,
You
nothing
almost
can hurt
died.
us. But,
Yeah.
but I didn't die. That's the thing. You're looking at it the wrong way. It's a 1 or a 0. You're either dead or alive. And we're still alive, which means we're doing something right. And as long as we keep experiencing the world, we have nothing to fear.
Yeah.
He gets a +2 to charisma for being clean shaven and handsome today. So
Oh,
that speech,
okay.
that speech should mean just an extra +2 more.
Okay.
Letting it sink in.
The handsome gnome is right.
Well, I mean, we really don't have much of an option as
No.
far.
No, not really. It's hard to focus with all of your handsomeness right now.
Thank you so much.
Even Valen's kind of impressed.
Well,
I'm okay. So,
you can't stop
Lynn,
it.
is there a place that we can resupply? Is there a way that you could give us that we could travel through town undetected, so that we could get some supplies?
She kind of rolls her eyes and takes a deep
Why
breath.
don't you roll your eyes?
I am probably the most powerful wizard in all of Icewind Dale.
And yet you aren't helping at all.
Can I make a healing potion appear? Is what you are asking.
No,
Yeah.
well, actually, no. That's not what I asked.
She kind of-
asked if
She rolls her fingers, casts a little portal, sticks her arm through it, pulls it back out. Like this. Oh, would you like me to do it again? And pulls out a second one. Your lack of belief in not only my ability, but the power of the arcane talents
it's not a lack of belief of any of your power. It's a lack of belief in your commitment / your goals or aims, because we're doing a lot of work here and you're always off doing things, and you're like, I'm so powerful and yet all these terrible things are happening and we're struggling to keep up. I'm sorry if I'm questioning your allegiances / care for any living thing.
I care for my pets.
Congratulations, they're not living.
They are to me. I care for these
My point
people.
still stands.
I could have gone home at any moment, Kelroth. I don't need to be here. I'm not stuck. I'm not at the will of the roads or the traveling through with those dwarves. I may come and go as I please. When you do not see me, I'm furthering the cause of liberation of Icewind Dale from Orryn. I have found you to prevent your arrest and your eventual burning at the stake to a large crowd. Perhaps being eaten by a dragon.
I would stop questioning Velen at this point and accept that whether she is genuine or not, she is more powerful.
I didn't think she wasn't more powerful.
I don't think she's a
I
fraud.
never
I
said
just
that
think
she wasn't more
sucks.
powerful. And yeah, I'm just saying she sucks. That is literally what I'm saying. I'm saying you suck. We're trying really hard here. You're like, I'm really powerful, but and I don't doubt that you aren't. I'm just saying that, must be nice having the ability to go as you please and avoid all the conflict and try as you might or whatever, You say big words, but that's all I'm saying, deal with it. I mean, again, you can just kill me or leave, so as you've already said, so I hope my words don't hurt you.
I
Yeah.
would imagine this outing of your past crimes has been quite traumatizing on your spirits given the environment in which we find ourselves. So I will forgive your curt nature or your questions and offer solutions as you would feel comfortable to reinstill in you my commitment to our shared cause. If you would like to parade through one of these towns in a polymorph, I will offer you that. You must be.
Well,
quick.
I'm just gonna turn to the group. I'm just gonna say, is that something that we need to do? Like,
Or
do we?
I could procure you a list of things through my portal as we make our way to the coast so that you may catch your ride.
I say we go with the portal. The sooner we leave, the sooner we get there. Not
Is this gonna help Cryovane? Like,
if Cryovane can be helped. If not, he must be put down. Which is not easy for Jaatuuli to say.
yeah. Do we want to go and well, I mean, I guess it just depends on what supplies you can offer us. Obviously, we're gonna need food and such.
We don't really need food. I can provide food for up to 5 people at any point.
She reaches.
Yeah, but if we're stuck in a castle or something like that, maybe it might be harder. We need some supplies.
She reaches through a portal, pulls out a list of food, and at the same time, you realize that you're not standing in the kind of tundra of Icewind Dale outside of East Haven any longer. You are in this at least an illusionary room that looks like a wizard's solar. Everything in here is gray and blue. It's very nice. It's very lived in. A ton of books, and on the big table in the middle.
Always with the books.
And in the big table in the middle, you see a couple of books open with drawings that look very similar to the artifact that was in all the books in Avarice's apartment, as well as the cabin where Orryn went missing temporarily.
Have we found more drawings similar to that? Don't we have some on us?
Yeah, we do.
Why don't we just give those to Hart? I just, hand them over. I'm like, since you're doing research, here's some more. I don't know if it makes any difference at this point, since he already turned into a possession ghost blue dragon thing. But
these are what Dazan was after. One of them is buried in the glacier to the north, and Dazan found this artifact and sealed the entrance to the glacier himself with an incantation. I believe that incantation to also be the prayer of the devout. that
What's
oral
that supposed to mean?
that oral bestows on her only truest of believers, for only they can know the true prayer to oral, to grant her favor, to gather her favor. Inside her castle is that prayer. That prayer will get us to these artifacts so that this curse can end.
Artifacts are causing the curse? I keep forgetting if this is
They
like
can,
something we've established.
they can change it. They're
Okay,
they're
okay, I
very
see.
powerful
Right.
netherese objects.
Is that does that imply that Dazan was a worshiper or like at least being controlled by Arl?
We believe he gave her the incantation to save his own life and sacrificed the lives of his adventuring party as well to at least temporarily prove a devotion so that Auril would spare his life before he was apprehended and burned so dramatically.
Okay. Gather supplies, boom boom boom. You said she had 2 healing potions for us?
She just pulled 2 out to prove her abilities. She could probably get you more.
I mean, the more the merrier. We used a whole bunch over the last, you know.
I don't know.
adventures.
2 healing potions isn't that impressive. She needs to really prove her power.
She looks down. If you weren't so suddenly handsome, I might take offense.
Yeah.
However, you seem much more charismatic and persuasive. And so she ends up pulling out 8 total. 2 for each of you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Let me pump that into my inventory. D&D Beyond, folks, use it. It's convenient and easy. I clicked 3 on my potions. Bam! I had 1. Now I have 3. Sponsorship.
Yeah, I love it. Tom Kenrick in here.
I have to say though, it is
great.
fun to use D&D Beyond. My only complaint is there needs to be like more equipment or customizable equipment, and it needs to when I use this artifact that I have and it has the charges and I can click on it and use that's all cool. But then if it's like not something that they have here, I have no access to it, and then it's just kind of like
so
it's like half there.
It reminds you that it's there. It doesn't keep track of it for you.
Right, yeah. So sponsorship over.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some healing potions, we got some food, so we can travel.
A weapon that is not cursed.
Oh, yeah. Maybe she has some kind of weapon for you. Do a nice upgrade.
Jaatuuli has to keep taking the weapons of others.
It's true.
She kind of listens intently, flips through her little book.
No.
I believe I may be able to acquire something before you depart for the island. I just don't have them accessible near a portal that I can just snatch potions and food from the storehouse of the host tower of the arcane. But I do have allies still there who may be able to make it happen.
Yeah, if you could get a nice weapon for Jaatuuli, that'd always be useful. This is probably hard too, but I could use some heavier armor. I have the strength to equip heavy armor. I forget what armor, like what's plate mail? Because right now I'm wearing chainmail, but like, let's plate mail. Yeah, if I got some plate mail, pretty expensive, hard to get, or something close to it. What's like the next down from plate mail?
I have a feeling I can make your plate
Scale
mail
mail?
happen. She's gonna look at Orryn. Do you have a specific request while we are requisitioning things?
I could always use a more powerful, a stronger shield. At the
Very,
moment, I'm putting so much of my magical energy to keep my current shield up. But if I had one that just had the magic infused into it, I wouldn't have to concentrate all the time. So
very well. I shall see what I can do. We have about 2 days' time, and I'm sure my associates at the host tower of the Arcane can acquire that which you need. This is going to be quite important, and I will be unable to travel with you. So I would like you to go in as prepared as possible so that our relationship can continue and so that we may take the next step to ending this curse.
So either splint mail or plate mail would be an upgrade for the armor I'm wearing. So it can be either or. Splint mail's 1 up and plate mail's 2 up from what I'm using right now.
Okay.
And if you have any other useful trinkets or baubles for defense or combat or something like that, I'm sure we could use it. I'm only attuned to one thing or 2 things. Sorry. So if you got some bits and baubles, and do you have any idea? I guess the next thing is information. Do you have any idea what we would expect in there? Probably ice stuff, right?
We don't believe her island to be inhabited by anything other than herself and her bird that she uses to travel and actually spread the curse about Icewind Dale. With this being the time, it appears that means that she will once again take flight and physically put the curse over the skies, that her island and castle should be unoccupied for a few hours for you to acquire the prayer and return before she does.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we're doing a heist.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
we're doing
dun,
a sneaky
dun,
steal.
dun, dun.
I should just stay home.
She's not gonna be home.
It's true. I'm still gonna fuck it up somehow. Okay. Well, okay. So that adjusts my. I don't know. I felt like we were going into a fortress for a big battle or something. I
Well,
mean,
you never
I'm
know.
not under the impression that we can fight a god, so that's good to know that that wasn't the plan.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm like, I already don't want to fight a dragon like Cryovane. There ain't no way I'm gonna also go fight a god.
Hey, look, I don't. This dragon's a big thing, so I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna set you up with this
Send you after a
I'm gonna
god.
set you with this demigod, and yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. Less teeth, huh?
Valinhar will
Great,
look it out for
great.
you.
I can get crushed by a meteor. It just goes. Okay. But that's good. I can adjust my spells. Probably some kind of protection from cold and stuff would be good. So I'll think about that. How big is this castle fortress house of hers?
It's on its own island, and let's see.
Is it like some elaborate mansion or castle?
It is a castle.
Okay. So was it big? Now we're looking for words. Like, is it going to be a book, or is that just like a symbolic thing? Like, are we looking for a physical thing, or are we looking just for
We
words?
we believe it is written down on some enchanted scroll, so that anyone who is able to read it will cast the incantation to hopefully open the hole in the glacier.
Oh, and it makes sense because she wouldn't want. Okay, because she wouldn't want somebody to do it, so she's trying to protect it. Okay, okay. Things are clicking. Things are clicking. Um. Okay, okay. Uh. Okay. I'll do tongues. Maybe if I have to read some kind of other language or something. Does anyone else have anything that they can think of that might like, provide help for this type of thing? Oh, yeah.
You guys all good with Volin Harple?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. She looks around. If there is nothing else.
Actually,
Oh.
there is one more thing. I'm sorry. I was trying to think, and I finally thought of it. On top of the shield, assuming I have enough GP, I'd also like medium armor. That's the best non-disadvantaged medium armor.
Why?
Because it
Yes.
sounds like we're sorry.
Why? Yes.
The armor.
You don't want to be heard in a cavernous ice castle inhabited by a demigod and her dangerous bird of prey. I understand, Master Gnome. I'm sure my minions shall come up with something agreeable to all of you. Now, if we may, I have taken the liberty of acquiring your animal companions, for time is of the essence. And she's going to snap her fingers. You're going to be gone from the warm, at least illusionary solar of a wizard, back just south of East Haven. And for the first time in a week, your axe beaks are present. They kind of buck up, and a lot of cawing and kind of excitedness, and the little nuzzling of the heads on all your chests probably knocks Orryn down. They're so excited. She looks
Julie
around.
is happy and gives it a hug back. Ah, my axe beak.
Wow, animal companions are simply the best. She looks back at her kobolds. There's nothing like them. Now, if there is
buddy dues.
if there is nothing else, shall we proceed? I'm afraid we're gonna have to take kind of a roundabout path to avoid any unwanted attention, especially near the towns and roads around here. For you have made quite powerful enemies here, and their determination to find you even outweighs their desire to perhaps stop this dragon from attacking, as it allows them to do as they please under the guise of protecting the people.
All right. Whatever way we must go, so we must.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all mount up on your axe beaks. Orryn in his little chariot basket.
Battle. Yeah.
Volin Harple kind of looks around, flips through her book, kind of begins like some arcane muttering and speech. Hair kind of blows, snow blows up a little bit, and underneath her, this white 3-foot disc appears, and she has a seat on it sits Indian cross-legged. Her kobolds hop on another one. She pulls out a book. Very well, let us go. And she just begins reading as her little floating disc just takes off, first starting south back towards the mountains and eventually turning west to make like a big loop outside of the outskirts of 10 towns.
What a great mental image.
Eventually kind of turning a little bit northwest and to begin heading straight for the coast. And that's where we're gonna leave it tonight. Just I don't want to get too much into it without Baldr here.
Yeah, that's fair.
So your buddy Villain Harple's back.
Yeah, our buddy.
Yeah.
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 I have, yeah. I don't care if she's powerful or whatever. Question her motivations, her willingness to commit.
I don't know.
She's like
helped us out.
she's playing like a literal dungeon master. She's like, go and do my shit for me, and you know I'm so powerful. I'm just gonna avoid all the consequences of these actions.
I'm gonna metagame all this information. Here
Yeah,
it is in the lore
I mean,
dump.
I understand why, but I'm gonna give the character shit. You know?
Well, yeah, she's supposed to be
like
kind
listen,
of
if she wants to kill me, she can kill me. There's nothing I can do. I'm not really like disillusioned about that.
HR would be
You
up
know,
her ass.
but I'm like, are
You guys are
you
technically
so
coworkers.
emotionally mature that you can't handle a little bit of criticism? But yeah, no, like obviously we're on the same side, so
Well,
it's more just, well, I mean,
yeah.
in terms of like the conflict that we're confronting, not necessarily in all politics.
And also with this.
Also, she's crazy, so.
Yeah, probably. The eye patch.
I mean,
is
all the
definitely a
Harples are
thing.
crazy.
Yeah, but she wants to be different. Like that's her whole thing. Is that
That's that's the problem.
We will also go ahead and move you guys up to level 7, having completed Sunblight and dealt with the
I get a
drow.
4th level spell.
Yeah.
Wow.
More
Oh no, am I gonna roll another 2 for hit points? Oh god.
So
You better roll good, dude.
I've been the last 2 levels I've gotten like 4 hit points. I'm depressed.
What's your con?
My constitution's +4.
Okay.
Like I have an 18 constitution. Kelroth is sturdy.
Stout man.
Yeah. He's just like not at so I'll meta this for you. When he was injured, when he was stabbed through the chest and that wound recovered, he part of like he never fully recovered, and from his perspective he always felt like he lost his elven grace when that happened, and so he is not agile or dexterous or all that,
all the other elven stuff.
and yeah, he's like
his
lost
beard,
that.
His beard started growing. All the elven traits just out the window.
Yeah. So that is sort of that's why all that is, and why I roll like 2 on initiative and stuff.
All right, so our party now level 7, headed, it would appear, towards the chapter in the book called Orryl's Abode. Wizards apparently likes alliteration as well, so good for them.
Yay.
Yeah. All right. And like I said, this is where the kind of like things really start to like pick up here, and then between
we're going into her home.
Between this, the
crazy.
Flaming Fist, the dragon, yeah, there's kind of a bit going on here in what we'll call definitely the second half of the adventure overall.
Boy.
All right, so we have seen our players with some amazing roleplay, by the way. Kelroth's little story, which, like I said, you were either going to tell or they were going to get the wanted poster as the big reveal. Yeah, so let's meet the actual people behind our amazing characters tonight. Let's start with Kelroth. for his amazing roleplay today, and not to mention he looks good on a wanted poster, which was a lot of fun to make, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I thought about, obviously it's one of the nice things about Dungeons and Dragons is you have time to think things out between sessions sometimes. And I guess it makes sense since you're role playing and you're not actually that person. But I did think, and it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, I think Kelroth would has developed a degree of camaraderie with these guys, and obviously we've faced many challenges together, and so he would feel the need with that kind of warning to let them know that danger is coming. But also, I didn't tell you everything, so and that should color your view metagame, because I told you a lot. So yeah, that was kind of fun. I was looking forward to that, but obviously I'm sure there are going to be many consequences of these things in the future. Otherwise, my name is Dustin. I'm a bartender and a sports guy and a video game guy, and yeah, I love all things sort of like fantasy and sci-fi. I'm so happy that I'm finally getting to play Dungeons and Dragons with a group of people who kick ass. All handsome and fun, interesting individuals who I get along with. It's rare when you join a random group of people online, you know?
Trust me.
I'm excited for all of this, but I'm also excited for the adventures that we have in the future. And yeah, I'm my only thing is now I'm planning vacations, you know, because life is starting to return to normal, and I'm like giving people, I'm like, okay, we can do this, we can go on this vacation, you know, we can, but on Tuesday I have to play Dungeons and Dragons, even if I'm in Mexico.
Hey, Kelroth, is that a conga line behind you? Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's margarita, guys in Speedos. You know, I'm just on the beach having a good time.
Yeah. I'm in my own pocket dimension. It just looks like Cabo.
Yeah. This is you know, like what do they call it? The Magnificent Mansion. I'm just, you know.
Mine looks like spring break. Mine looks like spring break in Mexico. What is it? Is it Mordenkainen? No, it's somebody's.
Yeah, maybe it's Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion, something like that. Anyways, that's me.
But yeah, Dustin, great job today with the story. Like I said, I didn't want to feel like I was kind of pushing you. I was cool if you didn't tell the story, because I think the shock of the poster would have been cool too if you didn't want to tell him. But either way, it was very cool.
Kind of fun. I kind of wish that I had let that happen though. I didn't know that you were going to do that. I just knew that Kelroth would know that consequences were coming, and so he likes the people he's with, so he would warn them. But if we had seen the poster first, that would have also been pretty cool.
Yeah, like that would have been absolutely the moment to like screenshot and post that one on Twitter. So yeah, this happened.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Orryn. Ever optimistic, wanting to chase down multiple things. How are you feeling about knowing that your boy Kelroth is a murderer and worse?
Orryn is pretty forgiving with all of that stuff. To him, you know, like, mistakes are made. It's part of the adventure. Part of living life is make mistakes. So he's not really upset about the past, but he is upset that Kelroth doesn't share his same thirst for experimentation. Orryn really wants to know what's going on with him, and Kelroth doesn't seem as excited to find out. So that's where that's our Orryn disagrees vehemently. But you know, he still loves Kelroth, still a good friend, everything. But anyways, in real life, Landon Baker, I am a software developer during the day, but I play a lot of video games. I recently got into Final Fantasy 14, for instance. I I'd played it back when it first came out, like way back when, and now I'm getting back into it, and it's a lot of fun. I even got my wife to start playing with me.
Nice.
That's fun. When I'm not playing games, playing D&D or playing with my 2 big Saint Bernard puppies. Say they're puppies, of course. Say it every time, but they are massive, and I love them. They're great. So that's me in a nutshell.
All right. Let's finish up with Jaatuuli. A little more in common with Kelroth than you may have thought, huh? You didn't necessarily see the streak or whatever it is inside of him.
Yeah, Jaatuuli is understanding, even though Jaatuuli kind of sticks to the kill for defense or to eat. He knows what it is to rage out, and has probably killed more than his fair share of should have and should not have. So he's like, whatever. I told you we're brothers, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Awesome.
I am Tenta. I play Jaatuuli. I am a big giant metalhead, and I like fighting, especially the bare knuckle fighting championship right now. I'm way into that. Mr. Manny.
I've been watching that too.
Yeah, isn't it good, dude? It's so good.
I feel like every one of the women I've seen is either on meth or has been to jail or both. None of them really strike me as I'm a professional fighter and this is my avenue. Like I said, meth head, ex-con, or both. The dudes are totally different. The dudes are like, you do just like to fight. You just want to get paid to do it.
I'm totally okay with the motivations on both ends.
I don't really care either way. I just like watching them smash into each other. 2-minute rounds, they're over quick. Fights like 25 minutes, and they just wail on each other. It's great.
Hell yeah.
All right. So those are our amazing players. I'm Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social media, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can catch me here, obviously, with these fantastic guys Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., One Shot Wednesday, our weekly rotating one-shot show. We begin our 7-week foray into the domains of dread of Ravenloft. 3 weeks will be me DMing Ravenloft homebrews around a book that I worked on with a bunch of other creative people, Esmeralda's Dossier of Dread. And then for the entire month of July, we will be having a guest DM sit in this little box. Well, not this one, but the One Shot Wednesday box. While I get to play with some people from the channel and kind of just get to be a player for a little while we get ready for our Mount Celestia season finale for the first season of One Shot Wednesdays. And after that, we'll move on and we'll announce what's coming after that. So check us out tomorrow for Enemy of My Enemy, a level 9 one shot.
11.
Okay, level 11 one shot set in Bloodspur, the domain of dread run by one of my favorite monsters, Mind Flayers. And then on Sundays, check me on the Wily Hobbit Twitch channel, my good friend Scott, as I DM for him, and he gets to take a break and sit in the player chair for Greyhawk Lives, our postmodern take on the classic Greyhawk setting set with 5th edition rules. We're having a great time with that game. And yeah, so in the meantime, we'll see you here Tuesday, Wednesday, or over on the Wily Hobbit channel, 1 o'clock on Sundays. Thanks for tuning in to everybody, and hopefully we'll see you next week or tomorrow night. Thank you for watching, and we'll see everybody later. Bye!
Bye.